and welcome to A Book in 5 Minutes. I'm Lindsay Milner and I'm a training and development consultant, and I work mainly with non-profit organisations to help them to create awesome workplaces. And while I've been engaged in that work, I have read many books, and I thought it might be interesting to share some of the insights that I've gained from those books with you. I have read books on business development, personal development, books on effective management, and books on thinking. And this week's book is on thinking. It was written and first published in the UK in 1970 and was groundbreaking, I think. It probably was groundbreaking in the field of psychology in some ways. It was written by a psychiatrist, possibly also groundbreaking for psychiatry, although obviously I'm no expert in that field or know anything at all really. But I think that a lot of the ideas in the book still have validity today. The book is I'm Okay, You're Okay, and it is written by Thomas A. Harris. It's an absolutely fascinating read. The central premise of the book is that people assume a position of either I'm okay, you're okay, which is obviously the desired state, but people might also think I'm okay, you're not okay, or I'm not okay, you're okay, or worst of all worlds, I'm not okay, you're not okay. He does go on to explain obviously the significance of these, but he also explains it in terms of we're made up of three parts: the parent, the child, and the adult. The child, obviously, we learn as a child, but we can still behave as a child when we become older. The parent, we learn from our parents and other parental style influences, and we keep those with us as we grow older. And the adult is the things that we learn how to relate to people. And are we relating to that person as a parent, as a child, or as an adult to adult transaction? And the central point is that it is transactional analysis. So by analysing how we're behaving in our transactions with other people, are we being parent to parent, parent to child, parent to adult, all of those kind of different permutations. Which role are we taking? Which role are they taking? The book's written in fairly simple to understand terms throughout. It is written for a lay audience, although it's written by a psychiatrist. And I guess was probably one of the early self-help books. But as I said, I think a lot of the ideas in here still have validity today. I wasn't expecting to enjoy the book. I thought it would be really hard going, but actually it is such a fascinating read. If you're interested at all in why we behave the way we do, if you're interested at all in how you can change the way that you behave, then this book is definitely worth your time. It doesn't have lots of sort of practical, like if this happens, do this. And in some respects, it was a little bit like NLP for me. The way NLP is very detailed. If you want to be good at it, if you want to be good at transactional analysis, either of yourself or between yourself and other people, or just observing other people's behaviours, then I think you've got to devote quite a lot of time and there's a lot of detail involved in thinking about the words that people are using, the actions they're taking. And it's far too detail oriented for me. There's not a lot of, if you change your behaviour in this way, you will find things go better for you. So it's not a practical advice book. But as I said, it's an absolutely fascinating read. it's of its time. You can tell that it's written in the 1970s. Some of the language, the way it's written, very formal, tiny bit sexist in places, although I don't think the author was intrinsically sexist. It kind of comes across as the way things were back then. Lovely little flashes of humour come through. I mean, there were a couple of things, the way he described things, that just made me laugh out loud. You know, the guy's personality, the way he's written within the constraints of 1950s US psychiatry is really entertaining. It really is a fascinating read. And if you are at all interested in how people think, how they behave, why they do the things they do, then it really is a fascinating study. Obviously, self-help books have come a long way since then, and the things that we understand about how our brain works has come a long way since then too. If you read books like Daniel Kahneman, Thinking Fast and Slow, some of the other, I can't think of the other titles off the top of my head, but I have covered a couple of other books on thinking. Check out the playlist on thinking. Some of the more recent books, obviously the research has come on a huge amount since 1970, but still this, I would say, is definitely worth a read. It's a really interesting, absorbing read. And that's why this review's late, because it took me so much longer to get through the book than I thought it would. So that's this week's book in 5 minutes. I'm Okay, You're Okay by Thomas A. Harris, published 1970. If you've read it, let me know what you think. I'd be really interested in finding out what other people thought of the ideas in the book. If thinking is one of your interests, you know, how the brain works, yeah, definitely give it a go and let me know if you do, what you make of it. That's this week's book in 5 minutes. Sign up to my YouTube channel, subscribe to find out more books, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.